We would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to this briefing on the latest headlines in the world of automobiles. Today we are going to discuss the latest developments about the 2024 Mazda CX-90 PHEV, which has recently been put through its first round of testing and has shown hints of having a great deal of power, along with some compromises that you might find interesting to learn about. It's time to get started. In spite of this, your trips to the petrol station will be quite few because the vehicle has a range of about 500 miles. As we go closer and closer to an all-electric future, the ideal transition for the majority of people would be to purchase a plug-in hybrid vehicle. PHEVs, which typically consist of a battery of a medium size in addition to a petrol tank, are able to operate in an all-electric mode for a sufficient number of kilometers before the internal combustion engine is activated, in the event that it is required. If you want to avoid trips to the petrol station and need capacity for 7 or 8 people, the 2024 Mazda CX-90 may be a nice vehicle to consider. That is because it is available with a plug-in hybrid powertrain that gives approximately 500 miles of combined range with 26 miles of driving only on electric power. We had the opportunity to spend a week behind the wheel of the brand new CX-90 PHEV, which is one of just a few 3-row SUVs that are equipped with this kind of propulsion. We would have liked its electric range to be between 40 and 50 miles, but its combined range is excellent and will prevent you from having to make frequent trips to stop at petrol stations. In the event that the driver is able to plug in and charge the Mazda CX-90 at night or at their place of employment, the electric mode of the 2024 Mazda CX-90 has a range that is sufficient for daily errands and commutes as well. Although we like driving in full electric vehicle mode, we ultimately found ourselves in a position where we needed to make use of public charging stations in order to take benefit of the vehicle's capabilities. During the week that we drove it, we went to the office and ran errands in the neighborhood without having to plug it in. One more thing to keep in mind concerning plug-in hybrid electric vehicles: if you don't plug them in, you're basically hauling about a lot of unnecessary weight that reduces your efficiency. Although the third row of the Kia Sorento PHEV is more cramped than the one in the Mazda, it offers a slightly greater range of 32 miles for those who require a longer electric vehicle. An advantage of the Mazda's compact battery pack, which has a capacity of 17.8 kilowatt-hours, is that it does not require a significant amount of time to charge. When utilizing a level 2 charger with speeds that are typically seen in a household charger, it took approximately 2.5 hours for the CX-90 to charge from 0 to 100%. This indicates that the charging time is about average for the segment. Along the same lines, the Mazda's mileage figures of 53/61/56 mph are comparable. However, before we proceed, I would ask that you kindly support this channel by clicking on the subscribe button that is located below. This will allow YouTube to obtain information about your preferences and will also enable you to receive new video updates as they are added to this channel. I am grateful to you. For a total of 323 horsepower and an astounding 369 pound-feet of torque, the Mazda is equipped with a 2.5-liter engine that generates 189 horsepower and an electric motor that generates 173 horsepower. That is sufficient to propel it from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.2 seconds during our instrumented tests, which is a rather good performance considering the size of the vehicle. In the quarter-mile sprint, the CX-90 traveled at a speed of 95.8 miles per hour and reached the finish line in 14.6 seconds. Just behind the CX-90 Turbos engine, this generation of Mazda's production powertrain is the second most powerful in the company's history. When we drove the Mazda on public roads, we found that it was very quiet. Nevertheless, we did observe some problems with its powertrain. Although it didn't happen very often, the 8-speed transmission had a jarring feeling when it came to a complete stop when traveling at parking lot speeds. This is something that has to be addressed in any future updates that are released. Due to the fact that the CX-90 PHEV is set to EV mode by default, it will have the sensation of being an electric vehicle from the very beginning. On the other hand, the 4-cylinder engine will start up. This will result in a behavior that is bumpy and unrefined. This will happen when the battery is getting low or when you press down on the pedal. There is room for improvement in this transition from electric vehicles to petrol vehicles. Although the CX-90, like all Mazdas, is built to give a dynamic feel overall, the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, PHEV, version is not an exception. This family SUV has a ride that is comfortable but athletic, and while driving on winding roads, it seems more like a car than any other three-row crossover vehicle. The steering is also perfectly weighted and balanced, and it provides a sufficient amount of feedback to the driver. The official successor to the CX-9 is the CX-90. Although the CX-9 was likewise a dynamic and enjoyable vehicle to drive, it had a few drawbacks that prevented it from becoming one of our favorite three-row SUVs. In particular, the third row was cramped. The CX-9 was a difficult vehicle to get into and out of, and regrettably, Mazda did not make any significant improvements to this problem with the CX-90. While the CX-90 is longer than the CX-9, the third row is also more confined, and the process of entering and exiting the vehicle is more complicated. There is less headroom in the third row of the CX-90 due to its swoopy roofline, and the low hip point causes adults to have to bring their knees up to their chins. It is unfortunate that Mazda did not make an effort to make the CX-90 more suitable for families. Rather, the company concentrated on providing the vehicle with the finest possible driving experience. That is something that we, as drivers, absolutely adore, but this automobile does not have the adaptability, practicality, or size to accommodate the complete family. During the course of the last few years, Mazda has made efforts to climb upscale, and the CX-90 represents the company's most recent attempt to accomplish this goal. After stepping out of a Toyota Highlander or Honda Pilot and into the 2024 Mazda CX-90, you will notice that the cabin is more luxurious than in either of those vehicles. The stitching and trim are of a higher quality than what is found in other SUVs that are considered mainstream. A clean design, high-quality materials, and an upscale atmosphere are all included in the package. Nonetheless, it does not perform up to the standards of true luxury brands like as Mercedes or BMW. A rotary knob or a touchscreen can be used to operate the infotainment system, and both methods are user-friendly and effective in their respective functions. Without any problems, Apple CarPlay was able to establish a wireless connection, and both the screen and the system as a whole were exceptionally quick to react to inputs. Although Mazda needs to improve the powertrain so that it is more refined at low speeds, the CX-90 has a sophisticated appearance and a number of good conveniences. Its combined range and driving dynamics, on the other hand, stand out as particularly impressive. In the end, this three-row crossover is dynamically excellent, but not a fantastic package. As a result, when viewed as a whole, it falls short of its competitors, which is the reason why it was placed in a less than exceptional position in our most recent big test of three-row SUVs. At this level, there is still more information about this car model that you need to understand. Hold on to your seats. Furthermore, the new powertrain that is featured in the CX-90 hybrid does not detract from the characteristically energetic driving style that Mazda is known for. Plug-in hybrids are a useful tool for bridging the gap between gas-powered vehicles and fully electric vehicles, because many families in the United States are not yet prepared to make the switch to electric vehicles. The 2024 CX-90 hybrid is designed to meet their needs. This premium three-row crossover has the refined road manners that we anticipate from a Mazda, while a powerful plug-in hybrid powertrain that generates 323 horsepower offers up to 26 miles of electric driving on a single charge. The interior of the CX-90 gives the impression that it is a luxury SUV, complete with leather upholstery in the basic configuration, expensive equipment, and a style that is attractive to the eye. The conventional configuration features 8 seats. However, second-row captain's chairs, which are a popular option for families with children, are not required and bring the total number of seats down to 7. Do you not like hybrids? There is also a turbocharged 3.3-liter inline-6 engine available for the Mazda midsize vehicle. However, we will be reviewing that particular model separately. Both of them are wonderful. This year, 2024, what's new? The CX-90 hybrid is a new vehicle that Mazda has introduced. It has taken the place of the CX-9 and is now serving as the brand's family-friendly three-row offering alongside its brother that does not utilize hybrid technology. It is possible to purchase a 2024 Mazda CX-90 hybrid for as little as $51,320 or as much as $58,825 depending on the model level and the options that are selected. The base version of the CX-90 hybrid comes well equipped with premium features such as leather upholstery, rain-sensing windscreen wipers, a power rear liftgate, 3-zone automatic climate control, adaptive cruise control, and heated front seats. Nevertheless, we would recommend upgrading to the mid-range premium trim instead. If you choose the premium trim level, you will receive additional features such as captain's seats in the second row, a panoramic sunroof, wireless connectivity for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a Bose music system, Sirius XM satellite radio, and a charging pad equipped for wireless devices. The plug-in powertrain of the CX-90 hybrid is a 323 horsepower configuration, much like the one that is utilized in the CX-60 SUV, which is marketed in Europe. Alongside an electric motor and a battery pack that has a capacity of 17.8 kilowatt-hours, an inline 4-cylinder engine is capable of producing power. All variants come equipped with an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and the CX-90, much like the rest of the Mazda SUV series, comes standard with all-wheel drive. When we took the vehicle out for its first test drive, we discovered that the electric powertrain provided a sufficient amount of power for both city driving and highway travel. At our test track, it demonstrated performance that was superior to that of the non-hybrid CX-90, reaching 60 miles per hour in 5.9 seconds. The petrol engine has an exhaust noise that is rather raucous, and the electric drive provides more than enough power to go along silently without longing for further energy. Both of these aspects of the equation were appealing to us. In addition, the CX-90 hybrid exhibited refined driving manners while retaining the agility that Mazdas are famous for. In our tests, we were able to achieve a range of 26 miles on a single charge of the plug-in hybrid model's 17.8 kilowatt-hours battery pack, which is equivalent to a projected 25 miles of electric driving per charge according to the EPA. The battery will be replenished in a considerable amount of time if it is charged at home using a 120-volt outlet. Therefore, it is recommended that this be left for overnight charging. When connected to a 240-volt connection, however, the battery may be charged from 20 to 80% in just 90 minutes after being connected. According to the estimations provided by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, the CX-90 hybrid should achieve a mileage of 24 miles per gallon in the city and 27 miles per gallon on the highway when it is powered solely by petrol. When we drove the CX-90 hybrid on our highway fuel efficiency route at 75 miles per hour, it traveled for a total of 26 miles on electric power before turning on its 4-cylinder engine. As a result, it achieved 57 miles per gallon equivalent during the course of the test. Go to the website of the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, to learn more about the fuel economy of the CX-90 hybrid. Mazda has equipped the CX-90 hybrid with a sophisticated cabin that can accommodate up to 8 passengers. This is in addition to the posh exterior they have designed for the vehicle. Choose the captain's chairs located in the second row, and the total number of seats will be reduced to 7. The combination of the fabric dashboard upholstery and the Nappa leather seats that are prevalent in higher-end versions creates a stunning appearance. Base preferred trim is less luxurious than other trims, but it is not any less elegantly fashioned. There is a click wheel located on the center console of the CX-90 hybrid, which allows the driver to manipulate the 10.3 or 12.3-inch infotainment display that is snuggled into the dashboard, depending on the trim level. The most recent infotainment system from Mazda features an interface that is simple to use and relatively straightforward. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are both included as standard features. However, wireless connectivity for both software applications is only available for the Premium and Premium Plus trim levels. A digital gauge cluster measuring 12.3 inches is included as standard. For audiophiles to be able to access the Bose Premium Stereo with 12 speakers, they will need to upgrade to either the Premium or Premium Plus trim level. At this point, we reach the conclusion of everything for the time being. We really hope that you were able to find some information that was helpful in this briefing. We appreciate you watching. Have a good time in the following video.